Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Women Shaping the Future of Product and AI. This is a very special and powerful episode because Jackie, with us here today, she's representing something many women aspire but rarely hear about openly and especially through lived experiences. She just did not climb the corporate ladder, she has actually built her own ladder. She has experience in enterprise product leadership, healthcare, customer experience, entrepreneurship. She's also into government contracting and community building. The conversation today is going to focus on resilience, reinvention, the courage behind it, and creating the opportunities for all of us when none exist. So, in this episode's theme, we will be talking more from corporate leader to a founder, where Jackie looked into creating opportunities where others see nothing. So, how are you, Jackie, today? Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. Very good, Manny. Very excited about this opportunity.
Great. And my guest today, Jackie Nunez, she is founder and CEO of JN Strategies. And she is my former digital product peer and lead at CVS Health. Jackie's journey spans through enterprise product leadership and innovation and where she is today. So let's just get into our segment of journey. So, Jackie, tell me, when you look back on your career, what were the defining moments that shaped not only the leader you have become, but the woman you became?
That's a very good question. So basically, well, my journey has taken me to a lot of different places, and I'm very grateful for it. I was raised by a very strong woman. My mother had different businesses. She was an entrepreneur herself for a long time. And one of the things that she always taught me was you can do literally anything you want. So with that mindset, I always wanted to be busy. I wanted to give my opinion, do be myself, whatever I will go. And I think in my journey, right, in different areas where I have been, I think our voices sometimes are not heard, or not you're not necessarily given the chance to speak. So in different areas, different times in my life when I've had experienced something where I feel like I cannot be myself, or maybe I'm not being used right the way that I should, I have just moved on. And I think all of those experiences and the fact that I had way much more to offer, and I felt like at some point I was not given enough, or I was not being asked enough. I think those moments is when I have been pushing myself and say, like, there's just so much more that I have to give. So I just like to find a space where I can just do that. And those are the moments that have actually pushed me to go forward and just go into the uncertainty of doing something else, something more challenging every time.
That is uniquely beautiful and wonderful. And as we are touching the courage and reinvention area here, many professionals dream about starting something on their own, but they cannot or never take that leap. What gave you the confidence to move from the corporate leadership, the safe job side, into building something of your own?
It's very scary. But I feel like when you have others, that when you have a support system, and I've always mentioned that in my interviews, like when you have a support system, when you have people around you that are there for you. And my husband is that person. My mother-in-law is that person. So I have a team of people around me that are always pushing me forward and allowing me to go and experience different things. I feel like that really helps me. That helped me take that leap of faith, right? From corporate, having the stability of a paycheck every other week, like that's amazing. But in my head, I was always like, there's just so much that I have in my mind and in my heart that I want to do. I want to do it for other people. I want to do it for my children, for the people in my community. So having that support system, people being there for me, supporting me. My husband is a very supportive person. Um, he's actually deployed. So he deployed just a few months after I got, laid off from CVS during the mass layoff. So it was even more challenging, um, because it's that uncertainty of what's going to happen now. But that actually gave me more strength, right? I'm a believer, and I always said, the only way that I'm going to be able to push myself to do more than what I'm doing and to do what I really want to do is going to be something big happen, So I saw that moment as the ticking point. It's like you just go and do it. So I just did it. It's just something to believe in, something to hold on to, and having that support system, people that are rooting for you, that believe in you. I have that, very fortunately. So that helped me really take the steps and just go for it.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that was my one point. Like, what all fears did you have to overcome that people do not talk about or they hesitate to talk about? So, share a little bit of that fight, that challenge that we can share with other girls in STEM as well. Like, this is normal. It's absolutely fine when you go through and beat it. So, what fears did you overcome?
The fear of failing, right? We always fear of failing, of not, what if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if it's just in my head? And I battle with that every day. I battle with that every day. Do I belong in this table? Do I belong with these people? I'm very young. I've heard all kind of things like, you're too young, just wait a little bit more, etc. That's no longer my fear. I think my biggest fear was, am I good enough? And sometimes those doubts come. They come because we're humans. But overcoming that, once you know who you are and what you're capable of, and you stick to that, and you have the support system that supports you to do that. And even if you don't have it, just grab onto something, to hold on to something, to yourself, to what you believe in. I think that really helps, and that has helped me overcome that fear. I wake up every day thinking, what's going to be today like? What's going to be today like? Is it going to be another opportunity? Am I going to fail at something? But I'm still going to go through it. Like this, there are always ups and downs. Nothing is going to be perfect. But if you just hold on to what you believe in and yourself and what you're capable of, I think just go for it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, coming to my next question, I read on your LinkedIn headline that said seizing opportunities where others sees none. Can you share a moment when everyone else saw a roadblock and you saw the possibility? I have seen you growing by boundaries. Like, I have never seen you stepping down from the challenges. Would love to know that moment when everyone else was blocked, but you grew.
Well, I think I don't know if it's, sometimes I've even thought about maybe the way I was raised, but I always see the opportunity. I always see the bright side of things, even though things are going south. I always think that there's always a way. There's not a problem without a solution. So, some the world can be falling apart, and my cool is never gonna be is never gonna go away, because I always feel like there is always ways to improve, and if it's a problem, it's because there is a solution. We just have to avoid the noise. And I just learned that word very recently with Elon Musk. And noise is something that in moments where you're under pressure, you have to block and focus on whatever is doable, whatever is attainable, whatever is in your hands. If it's not in your hands, we got to find a way. But you can always do what you can control, right? And take over
Yeah.
what you can control. So that has always helped me. It's having the positivity that something happens for a reason. We either learn from it, we win, we fall, we get back up. It's always about who you are, with blocking the noise, focusing on the task at hand, and just going from there.
Absolutely. I 100% echo with you on that. When you were going through reinventing yourself as a woman, as a leader, building that influence, women often lead through influence rather than authority, as we know.
Mhm.
What have you learned about earning trust, building the credibility, and creating that impact in rooms where your voice may not initially be the loud, and slowly you have to make that space?
That's a very good question. Because I'm definitely not a loud person, and I don't like to be the loudest voice in the room, but I like to have my voice heard, and I make my voice
Yeah.
heard. I think it's about being a person before anything else. And whenever I have worked with teams, that's all I bring to the table, is being, the human being that we are, with our flaws, our great things, our not too great things, and bringing that reality. Because I feel like when we're in the corporate world, especially, we're so black and white. And when, like, you make mistakes and you think that the world's going to fall
Yeah.
apart, But in
Mhm.
reality, things will continue moving on, right? And things will continue working out. So I think for me, it's just bringing that humanistic side of things. It's this is who I am, and always putting myself in everybody's shoes, and giving everyone the space for to be creative. Sometimes we're in spaces where we are reluctant to let ourselves
Mhm.
out there because we are afraid of what whoever is going to think of us. I think I'm not afraid of showing who I am, where I come from, and what I bring and what I don't bring to the table, right? Because we're not perfect. I don't have everything, but I can learn everything. And that's my mentality. I don't do everything. I might not know everything, but I can learn. And bringing that, I will. Some people call it not your soft skills, but um, maybe your flaws and your good and bads, and your vulnerability, right? Being vulnerable.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I think it works, and it had worked for me to build that trust because they know who I am, what I come from, and what I'm willing to do for the team and for what I believe in. And given your team members, given the people around you the same confidence that you can be the same, and we will thrive when we show ourselves the way that we are, and we are allowed to be who we
Yeah.
are, right? The
Yeah.
teams thrive, and that's my motto all the time. Whatever I am, even in my
Mhm.
company, I bring the same mentality. My employees have the freedom to be who they are. I love that they come with their ideas, and I hear everybody's idea because I might not be thinking on something, and then somebody comes and brings something, and I'm glad. I'm happy because they're just developing themselves, and we're working things out as we go.
Yeah, that is very well said, actually. And with that point, I know there are a lot of young women who seek idols, who seek advice. What advice would you give women, other women who are struggling with confidence, despite of being highly capable, highly motivated, they are just holding themselves back?
Um, it's um, it's a great question, and it's something that I know it's happening because it happened to me.
Hmm.
Like we are so unique, and we're so perfect in so many ways. We were created so perfectly, and I feel like we need to embrace who we are, what we
Yeah.
have learned, and we need
Mhm.
to bring our experiences too. Because I feel like people enclose into this is what I went to school for. How come I'm going to do something differently, or this is not what I was trained for. Just go, getting out of your way. It's is great. It really helps you. It helps you grow in those areas where sometimes you don't feel that you belong, and just being open minded for whatever comes. Take one step at a time. Analyze it. Think if it's good for you. If you don't feel good in one place, just maybe it's a call for you to move on. Sometimes
Yeah.
I also see that a lot. We stay in places where we don't feel like we don't want to be there, and we are afraid of speaking up, of saying how we feel. Um, so my advice is embrace who you are, love who you are, and always have the mind open to the opportunities. Your eyes very open to the opportunities that are out there, and
Yeah.
having the open mind to maybe go for opportunities that you might not think that you're good at, but you have not explored that, so you don't
Mhm.
know. So it's always beautiful when you don't know about something, and you just move on to that because maybe that's your only choice, and then you realize this is what I was meant to be, or this is what I was meant to do, and it becomes something beautiful. So
Yeah, yeah, that is absolutely true. Like in our decades of corporate experience, we both have seen that conditioning coming from top down, where somebody tells us, hey, follow these instructions, stay in the set of rules, do not do this, do not reach out, do not escalate, do not do this, right? So you need not to bound yourself into those instructions if it doesn't make sense. So
yes.
there is no need to hide behind the hesitation, like, oh, I wish I should have asked. Go ahead, ask that question. It's very important for your own sanity and peace of mind when you're ready to grow, because these conditions and boundaries, subconsciously, I see, hold a lot of women back. They want to do it, but somebody is telling them they are not enough. And I think you are very well on the point, Jackie. Yeah.
I remember in a great example of that is when,
Mm.
there's a position out there that you want to apply to, and you know that there's
Hmm.
a hiring manager. You know who that person is because you're seeing
Yeah.
information. But the rule is that you're not supposed to be reaching out to that person. You have to go to the chain of command. Who created that rule? Like, what
Yeah.
what is the problem of you going and presenting yourself to that other person so that maybe what you have inside of you is something that is great for that position,
Yeah.
or you're a great fit. So we should not, have those. We shouldn't have to fight those battles as women. I think we are a very complete human being with a lot of capacities and capabilities, and that we're
Yeah.
capable of anything that we really put our minds into. So I know
Yeah.
it's a challenge that we live every day, especially in corporate.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. And as we are talking through the leadership lessons, I have seen you working with empathy during your time at Digital Health Enterprise. You worked on products impacting millions of consumers. So I do remember living through the pandemic. And what did that experience teach you about balancing business goals with genuine customer empathy?
It's 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 something difficult to to deal
Uh-huh.
with, right? I think the fact that we're talking about millions of people really,
Yeah,
it is challenging, but at the end of the day, the customer is what makes us the big company that we are. And
yeah,
I feel like, doing well your research. Whenever I had an opinion about something that I thought could make a difference in what we were doing, and I knew that it was going to be very impactful, I did my research. I checked my data. I understood. I put myself in the customer's shoes, and I went through the experience multiple times to really understand. Okay, this could be a pain point that is holding us back. And I think there's really where the balance comes is you are getting yourself out there, you put in your opinion, you want to make a change, you want to rock the boat, but what research have you done? What, how do you know this? And as any corporate world, right? When we know that is an experience such as the one that we were
mhm,
dealing with, right? We're talking about millions of customers. Anything can make a huge impact in how we're delivering. So I think, doing your due diligence before presenting any of the facts or your ideas, was always very helpful. If I come to, any of our leaders with a great idea, but I did not have that backup, data and information, it is hard to really get them into buying in your idea unless you really have a good case. And I tell people it all the time, like, if you have a great idea, it's great that you have the idea, but also, like, how are you backing up that idea? There's got to be some research to understand, okay, how does this impact my customer, my existing experience? How is
yeah,
this going to make it better? And having facts and numbers, and in
mhm,
corporate, you know how it is in corporate right now. It's all about data. It's all about how
mhm,
easy. And we have such great tools right now where you can actually see the customer experience, how they're
yeah,
navigating your website. I mean, it was great because, especially, in digital, you have all these tools and you have the freedom to use them, and that was really helpful to be able to see exactly what was going on. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's very well said. And yeah, I think you answered my other question as well. I wanted to know, as a product leader, what would separate, in your viewpoint, what would separate a good product leader from a great product leader? So I think the empathy, the mentorship, the vision, the hand holding, all these things come together as a package to be that leader. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
and to
And
add on to that, sorry, Manny, also, like, I feel like to be a great product leader,
mhm,
it's also giving others the chance to kind of like go through the process with you,
yeah,
because you have the team of engineers, right? That it's not only about taking notes, it's not only about taking requirements, it's about
mhm,
them into the whole experience, and helping them also, like, get your voices on the table, like,
yeah,
what you see that I'm not seeing, because maybe the technicality that they're bringing makes it a little bit
mhm,
difficult. But if
yeah,
you're there to translate that into, actionable items, and great ideas that we can implement, I think giving them that space too, so that they can provide their own that's what makes a good product leader. It's not only
Absolutely.
taking the notes, taking the requirements and moving forward. It's about, dissecting that. What does this really means for your customer, and
Yeah.
how can we even make it better? It's having that opening that for everybody in your team, not only the product person, but also like the whole engineering team. Like, let's work
Mhm.
on this together, because our end product person, it's is the customers, whoever is getting that experience.
Yeah. Yeah. How true. Uh, and as we're looking into that, when people work with you, what do you hope they remember about your leadership years from now?
Mm. I really hope that they remember, um, just that it's how I wouldn't say I allow them, but how I encourage a
Hmm.
and kind of foster an environment of trust. I really hope that they remember that, and that they remember me as that, as she gave me the chance to speak up and really get my idea across. I think as a product person, it's very methodic right now. It's a lot of rules, a lot of steps, and you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if bringing that humanistic side of things again, and ensuring that you're fostering that environment of trust, that I'm gonna trust your ideas, and I'm gonna trust you with what you're doing, and giving you a chance to explore maybe what you have in your mind, right? And try things and pilots, and maybe this is gonna work. And I think I want them to remember me like that, as that open person that was always happy and encouraging, and allowing them to be themselves, and provide their opinions whenever we were discussing anything important.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And before we get into the hard truth questions, the legacy that Jackie is building. Who is Jackie now? What are you building? Let us share with our listeners.
Yes. So from the product side of things, I learned a lot of things. I really learned how to build something, and how to find opportunities. As I
Hmm.
was navigating my community, talking to my people and my friends, I really found gaps, and even in the healthcare industry, and how that those products that the corporate world is building, how we're building these amazing things, right? And they're not really getting to the end consumer, and how those things are coming across.
Hmm.
I found a lot of gaps, and that really took me to a whole different world. So now I'm working, providing services to the government, um, and also helping people get ready for that world as well. And I'm going through. I actually have different businesses, different venues that we're exploring right now. But it's all about healthcare. It's all about how we can bring, how can we can bring those products to the hands of the people. Such as the home nursing care, which is one of the areas that
Hmm.
I'm exploring. How we're bringing that healthcare to the homes, to the peoples in their houses, and really doing what is best for the customers, and working with the governments, getting that insight into how, like, where everything comes from, right? Because as we know, all these big companies like CVS and everything out there, everything is linked with the government and what we're doing,
Yeah. Hmm.
what we're building. And I'm on the other side of things right now, and I really love it that I'm able to see where everything comes from, and how we can really
Yeah.
bring all of that to the real consumer, to the people out there that
Hmm.
are really need. And
Hmm.
I'm very excited about that work, and also the fact that I'm able to help other people join in, and creating their and exploring their own business ideas. We go from people that just have a business idea in their mind to creating everything for them, and getting them ready for either government contracting, or just developing their business idea in a way that helps people make that transition from their full time to
Hmm.
what they really love to do. A lot
Yeah.
of people, and I've heard this every time with every customer, they've been thinking about this for months, for years, and they have never felt like, they have never had any help or somebody to really tell them how
Hmm.
things work.
How to?
And
Yeah.
everything is really out there. It's just, we put all the pieces together, and now we have our framework that allows us to simply and very easy, translate whatever business idea you have in your mind to something that actually works, and a system that actually works that you can actually even replicate in different states as well. So very excited, very happy with what it's happening, and
Hmm.
we're growing. I've always said that I don't want to grow too fast, but I want to do it very mindfully and steadily in a way that allows us to grow, but in a smart way, right? Doing the right thing all
Yeah,
the time,
yeah.
and really going from 1 to 100 with the customers. So it's very exciting times for us right now.
Very nice, very nice. And yeah, I am totally aligned with you. There are no shortcuts. I do know, like, a lot of people reach out to me, like, hey, can you help me build something with AI that can help me generate money from month two? I'm like, no, there is no such thing, because influencers these days, that's how they are leaving the sentiments of vulnerable people. For vulnerable people, uh, people got laid off, people got impacted, but the lessons you are sharing, that comes from lived experience. There is no shortcut. You have to put a plan, a framework, and go to vision for you to make it happen. And if it is not of your interest, eventually you will still drop off because that is not of your interest. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
uh, Even it matters a lot now because of the AI noise. Now every influencer out there is selling that short dream. Hey, become a millionaire in 2 weeks. Like,
it
I
doesn't happen.
want people to think like that.
It
Yeah.
doesn't happen at all. It Everything takes time. Everything is regulated, especially in healthcare right now. Everything is
Mhm.
very regulated. So
Yeah.
I I see those influencers all the time, and I see the videos and people, and I'm like, I block all that noise because I'm like, this isn't
Yep.
really helping anybody. A lot of people are
Yeah.
getting scammed, are losing a lot of money with promises that are not good. And something that I've learned this many years that we've been working with people is nothing is really easy. Everything takes time, and you
Hmm.
cannot believe everything that you hear on social media. You
Yeah.
cannot just follow and just do whatever they say. Even here, like let's say here in Rhode Island, we're working a lot with home care agencies, home nursing agencies, and there has been a growth of over, I will say like more than 70% from year to year of increase in openings of home care agencies. But from that many home care agencies getting open, at least 50% are not really running. And it's
Hmm.
because of the same thing, right? They get very excited, they think they're going to make it because others are making it. And
Yeah.
then they realize how much it really takes to get all that done. So I tell
Yes.
people all the time, if you're willing to put in the work and you're really committed to this, then you will make it. But otherwise, you
Yeah.
cannot expect that somebody like, for example, even us, I'm going to create your business. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you
Hmm.
structure that you need, but you have to do it on your own. You have to get yourself out there and do your job. It's not a handout. It's not, hey, here's your business making already $1 million. That's not how it works. It takes time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you have to put in the work. It doesn't get done like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I heard about your leadership and legacy now. One hard question: what is a lesson that Jackie learned hard way that every aspiring women leader should hear? A lot of noise coming our way, a lot of distraction coming our way. So, what was the lesson that you learned hard way?
Um, don't take things for granted. Is this thing the thing that I have learned the hard way. Um,
Hmm.
I remember, being in a company and feeling that I was very appreciated. Everybody loved me. Everything was great. I went on maternity leave. I came back and everything changed completely. And I think I I felt like I was thinking that, everybody was missing me because I had this great, things in place and everything. And then coming back, I was like, wait, maybe it's not the fact that they're gonna miss the way that you work or the things that you do. Maybe I should have done, something differently, and
Hmm.
in a way that things were run in the best way possible, so that when I went back, it wasn't as hurtful as it was. I think taking that for granted,
Hmm.
really hurt me, and really hurt my feelings to a point that I was like, I can it's this it was horrible. So I would tell people, never take things for granted. You're not nobody is everybody's dispensable. Okay, everybody's dispensable.
Yeah.
um,
Mm.
it doesn't matter what you do, how great you are. We can always find somebody as good or even
Yeah.
better or different. So
Yeah.
always be on the look for, making sure that you do the right thing for yourself and for your family in that sense. And ensure that you have your own process and everything in place. For me, that was a very hard thing to learn during a very difficult time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry you had to go through so much of stress along with the newborn. Yeah. It comes really hard for mothers, especially because there's no backup, right? We don't anticipate to jump so much. We get married to our role and companies, and it's not, when it doesn't reciprocate, it hurts. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and especially moms.
Yeah.
I'm a mother of four, and every pregnancy, was great, and I didn't have too much complication, but coming back, right? And in that time that you spend
Hmm.
out of your role, and everything else goes to somebody else. I feel like we come back with the stress of having the child, not sleeping and all of that, and
Yeah.
then facing the fact that somebody has taken over and probably taken over more than you may
Hmm.
want it to. I feel like we are heroes. Humans
Yeah.
are like women's are heroes. We go
Yeah.
through so much, and we're taken for granted.
Yeah. I'm with you like 200% and even 500% on that. And I'm trying to convince each and every woman out there, you are enough. Nobody should be telling you where you belong. You should be telling yourself where you belong. So yes, we are enough.
We are.
Yeah. It's a, yeah, one thing, as I have seen you building communities backstage. You're passionate about purpose, community. Why do you believe community matters so much, more than ever now, in fact, in today's professional world?
It matters too much. I mean, the community that we build today is the community that will run this world tomorrow. So I'm always an advocate of helping the youth, of ensuring that we're getting the truth out there too, right? We're seeing this new generation coming up short because unfortunately
Hmm.
they're not getting the real idea of how things work. Of
Yeah.
thousands, we
Yeah.
have AI running the show,
Yeah.
all this noise about a lot of jobs going away because AI and people on TikTok the whole day. I just feel like we're losing big time, and we need to
Hmm.
take the reins back, and we need to help our community, and we need to help build the generation of the
Yeah.
future, or what future are they going to have. And I feel like it's our responsibility. That's why I'm so committed to helping people that come from out of the country as well, immigrants that come from other countries, and they come here with, the idea of the dream United States of
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they come here and they face the reality that things are not as easy as they probably were told. And I
Yeah.
love, like, I actually have school, for a healthcare school that provide healthcare training, and I do a very low price, teaching for, I mean, not myself, but I have a team of professionals teaching,
Yeah.
people from the immigrants to come out from out of the country,
Hmm.
so they can get trained and get better jobs, and they can start building their own lives in a different way. And I think if we all committed to give something, some
Yeah.
of your learning, some of your experience, some of your information to those people that are coming here, to our young generation that we're raising here, right,
Hmm.
in a different way, I think that could possibly help, our country be
Yeah.
in a different situation than where we are right now.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I talk to a lot of new grads in my AMAs, volunteer AMAs. I put in evening hours, weekend hours, just to talk to them and put them on a roadmap for a career. Because even if you invested in bachelor's or master's, we don't have jobs for them.
Yeah.
Where should they go? What happens next? And really getting difficult for women now, even more with AI. Like, everybody's judging if you do not have experience. Where will this experience comes from if your start layer of hiring is a senior something, right? So I do see it coming, very hard truth. I'm not saying AI is going to dissolve or dilute all the jobs. The job types will switch, but we have to make sure we as a community upskill them before, not after. So, yeah, you are calling out a very important factor, Jackie. And I would love to share the links to Jackie's available network and the education reform and the healthcare insights she has. Look for the comments after the video. And we would love to upskill as many people as are listening to us, because one person cannot make a difference. It requires, mandates entire village to come together to be that change. So thank you so much, Jackie, for doing that. And one question I do have.
And Manny, I'm sorry, before you move to the
Yeah,
next question,
yeah.
I also want to encourage whoever is out there and wants to share their knowledge.
Mm,
Software engineers, AI engineers, if you're willing to put some time, I would love to use my platform so that we can bring that training
mhm,
at a low cost or maybe at no cost,
mhm.
to other people that are really interested, but they have no idea what that is, how to do that,
Yeah, yeah,
or how to get the training needed. Because to be honest, it's expensive. Everything is very expensive.
it is. Yeah.
And every, I'm not saying that I'm against AI. I do use it for my business. I love AI because it gives you tools, but it's not
Mhm.
everything. We still
Yeah.
need the human creativity to create these things, to move businesses. But if people are willing to provide their knowledge, provide some of their training, it doesn't have to be, the data engineer,
Yeah.
CEO, CIO of a company, but just us, people like us, that we have learned what you're doing right now as a product person with all of your experience, bringing this out there so that others coming up, right, can see what this is really what this is about. I have a lot of people had asked me before, what does a product manager do? Before it was, what does a project manager does? So things have been changing, right? And now what does
Yeah.
the engineer does? For now, things will continue changing, but
Yeah.
if the people that have experience being there, having that position, we bring this knowledge out there at
Yeah.
low cost, low cost or whatever it is, however you can do it.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful because the people out there that maybe might not have had the chance to go to school, to be in
Yeah.
corporate, to be in one of these companies that help you develop your skills, then they will have an opportunity.
Wonderful, wonderful. I do create 30, 60, 90 custom plans for new grads because they don't have money to pay for all these cohorts or subscriptions. I would love to partner async with you, Jackie, in the background. So let's connect after the call. But yes, I, I'm more than happy to give back to community because at this point of verge of experience in corporate of 2 decades, I think we have seen what moves and what got cut. Uh, Even though today we are seeing the beginners, the freshers, the fresh graduate level roles are diluting, we will need them very soon. And we cannot, we have that blind side to it today, but we cannot deny that human expertise, human approvals, human niche will be even more important when machine lives on stale data. So you cannot keep on training machines on its own data with lessons, troubleshooting, triages, but that's still generated by machine, not by human. So at one time, I think that learning curve will come back where courses will become more important than just a 30 seconds AI tutorial. Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Believe it
And
too.
as we are living AI era ourselves, we have been through legacy, digital transformation, now the AI. What opportunities do you think, especially for women, they should be paying attention to right now that most people are overlooking?
Um, services.
Mhm.
There is a need, a high need for services, all kind of services you can think of. Like, um, it's like you will see me like organizing the cleaning of a town here in Rhode Island that we have a contract with. You
Mhm.
will see me coordinating the landscaping of another
Mhm.
town that we have a contract with. So women, we are the coordinators. We
Yeah.
are the project managers of our homes.
Mhm.
You don't even have to really get out of your home to
Yeah.
coordinate, to project manage, um, to manage the projects of, sending a staff to go and do the landscaping of your town hall. You don't need to be an expert to do some recruiting
Yeah.
of people that can do cleaning, that can do laundry. Um, I've had all those
Mhm.
type of contracts, and it's crazy because I actually started doing my laundry when I came to the United States. I've never done it in my life. So, for
Yeah.
us coming
Yeah.
from another country, sometimes we
Yeah.
have the luxury of all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
I have taken cleaning classes, how to clean
Mhm.
a house, how to clean commercial buildings,
Yeah.
because from the luxury of my home, I can coordinate all of those activities without me having to be there because I have
Mhm.
a team that can do that.
Yeah.
So if you are anywhere within the United States, you can contract with your town, your state, other states adjacent to your state, and you can create a whole network of people that are going to be working for you, and you will be in the comfort of your home taking care of your children. That's what I'm doing myself. I have an office space that where I come whenever I have a
Mhm.
meeting. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be here all the time. You
Yeah.
have AI, you have technology, you have all these tools right now that allow you to create a great proposal for those bid solicitations that are out there from all the government institutions that
Mhm.
need our services. And if you go to the towns, if you go to the systems where they promote the solicitations, you will find
Yeah.
the same companies are winning these contracts because there are not enough people to do these services. Can you believe it? So as a
Wow.
woman, I tell you, I have gained tremendous knowledge of how these things work. And with my background in product, I have put together all of these things that allow me to easily see where there is an opportunity and
Mhm.
connect somebody to that opportunity,
Yeah.
and or do that myself. I have people doing contracts in Texas. I have people doing contracts in Florida.
Mhm.
And you don't really have to be doing that from the outside. You can do this even as a side job at the beginning, and then that can become something else. Um, it's it's beautiful what you can do. There's just so many opportunities, and the opportunities are where others are not looking.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's looking at cleaning a building? Who's looking
Yeah.
at doing the landscape of a big, company? CVS,
Mhm.
Amazon, all these companies, they contract companies to do all that,
Mhm.
facility management job. But also they do contract with project management job if you want to go to that side of things. They
Yeah.
do temporary staffing. Sometimes they use staffing contracts 6 months because they have a
Mhm.
project, they need some help. Construction project management is a big one.
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
so there's just so many opportunities out there that people have no idea, and
Yeah.
especially women, because we are so. Sometimes I feel constricted, right? Because we have
Mhm.
family, we have children, small children. I have a 3-year-old. I want to be with my girls. I want to be with my children and be able to be there as they
Yeah.
grow. And you know, when you have to go to your 9 to 5, and it's just so much that you're missing out. It's
Yeah.
You're just missing out so much. So I feel like, looking at those opportunities that nobody else is looking, because the same people have them. They've had them for years.
Yeah.
They're not going to let them go, right?
Yes.
But there are opportunities. There are ways for you to get in, and that's one of the things that I'm telling everybody. Like, it is possible. I'm doing it. I'm an immigrant that just came here. I don't even have, well, I think I'm gonna have 10 years this year. So if we're doing it,
Yeah.
I just want to be able to tell people that is possible, and show them how it is possible. So I'm very excited about all of that, because as a woman,
Yeah.
I want to encourage other women. We can do this. We can grow. We can grow ourselves into better human beings. We can help our kids
Mhm.
be better human beings. Teach them the ways that we've been taught as well, and try to create that generation, and empower them to be the best that they can be, so they can have a better future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because our future is
Absolutely.
now, but their future is coming, and we want to make sure that they have a future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you are one fires women I know. I have seen you growing, I have seen you leading. So, one goal I do want to amplify is the voices of women shaping the future of STEM. You have science, technology, engineering, math, product, AI, business, leadership. We talk about everything. Who are maybe two or three women leaders you believe uh, can be very good coaches and mentors for girls in STEM?
Well, Manny is one of them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, definitely, Manny. I do believe that you are a fierce leader as well, and I've seen you how you have been. Have you managed the biggest storms ever? You've been in the middle of the storm, managing everybody in a crazy fast pace. Um, I don't have like a lot of people, but I will tell you that there are amazing women's out there that and they're all over the place. But I will tell you, find the people that you really have something in common with.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
for example, Blake, like oh my god, I don't remember her name, but um one of the owners of I guess I will have to give you the names later on, but there is
Okay.
somebody that I'm really interested in because she's a mother of 5 children. She runs her company, she's doing all these things, and I can see myself, as her and how she has been able
Mm.
to build her platform and her family. And I feel like as just find common areas with whoever you feel like has some commonalities with you, because this, I mean, right now this world is full of people talking, um
Yeah.
saying things that might not be true, sharing false information everywhere.
Yeah.
And it is very sad. It's very sad. So,
Yeah.
find people that really align with who you are,
Yeah.
instead of just following others that you think are doing maybe things that you're not doing.
Yeah.
Um, I I just feel like it's very bad out there. And I have seen women like you, Manny, when we work together, going through so much, having all these people around you, having to deal with difficulties and deadlines and priorities, everything coming at you all at the same time. And being able to get out of that water, right, successfully, it's very hard. I've also, like, I can tell you that my mom was a great example for me as well, because
Mhm.
as a woman, she was raising us on her own and having businesses
Yeah.
and traveling all the time, but she still had the time to instill everything that I have in me. That I sometimes I used to say I don't want to be like her because she was always busy. She was always busy doing her thing. And as I been growing myself, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just her. Um, but after some time, I realized, you know what? This is the reason why she did it.
Yeah.
Because she wanted us to have all the learnings possible. All
Yeah.
the good experiences, so that we could be the people that we are today, me and my brother. So for me, she's a great example as well. And there are a lot of great women out there. People that we work with that I admire too.
Mhm.
That I have I'm very fond of them because, as you know, we work with a lot of great women at CVS.
Yeah.
Especially our executive director that we had, and our director at some point as well.
Yeah.
I just don't want to mention their names, but they're those two women. Oh my God, I really admire them because they were so strong
Yep.
in a
Fierce.
world that was led by very strong men.
Yep.
um, just seeing them going through everything that they were going through, for me, was like, wow. And I took a lot from that experience from them specifically, because they will show their vulnerabilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we could see them getting very sentimental sometimes when some issues were happening, but we could also see them stepping up and saying, okay, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. So I'm very happy that I was able to go through all of these experiences in my life, and really see very strong women leading, and and in charge of so many aspects
Mhm.
of things that were very critical, like in healthcare. I also work with great women in banking, as well when I was back at Citizens Bank, which is another great experience I had. And I had somebody that really pushed me through. Her name is Bethany Warburton. She's from Rhode Island, and she's a great mentor of mine. And I will always I'm very appreciative of what she did with me when back then, because I felt like she was the person that um, pushed me to
Mhm.
to really get myself out there and be fearless and just trust the process and go through it. So
Yeah.
I have so many women that around me and in my whole life that I can mention that have really shaped the way I think. And I will tell, the generation out there and the people looking at us, that find that person in your life or those
Yeah.
people in your life that you might have some type of, relationship or some type of
Mhm.
share anything in common, and just hold on to that, and just always believe in yourself.
So true. Yeah, so true. I was captivating and listening because I was just nodding my head all the time, like how important is to surround yourself with those women leaders and just hear them talk, just observe them talk, just observe how they take care and lead the situation. Subconsciously, unknowingly, it will get into you because you want to become that person somewhere. So I assure you, Jackie assures you, we all women leaders who have gone through the experiences, we are available, we are reachable for you. Please drop your questions if you are struggling in your career, if you have your question as a peer, if you have that doubt whether you belong or not. Maybe we can help, we can guide you and put you on the right roadmap of your career. And we would love to chat and hear your questions. And Jackie, as we are closing up, one last question. What message would you give to 15-year-old Jackie?
Hmm.
You have seen enough in your life, so I would love to hear.
Don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. um I was pushed into too many directions and opportunities when I was younger because of my mom was very um she was very disciplined, and in sometimes I was afraid of
Mhm.
showing my full potential because I
Yeah.
was afraid that I was gonna get, people I was gonna be get upset at me, or I don't know, but I will just tell myself,
Mhm.
don't be afraid. That's
Yeah.
that's all I will say. It's As a young person, I was always very outspoken. I will just say however I had in my mind. And at some point, I got very afraid of what others will think of me if I would, to the point where sometimes they will ask for my homework, and I will have my homework ready, and I will say I don't, so I could fit in, maybe
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
Um, because I was afraid that they were gonna be like, "Oh, why did you say that you did it when we haven't done it?" You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
it's don't be afraid of who you really are, because there is always a space for you. There's always space for all of us. Maybe where you are is not where you're meant to be, but you will always. Everybody has a place in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing I really love, Jackie, about Gen Z is I know we code them around the discipline or availability or accountability. Maybe they are also evolving as we were young and figuring out. We never taught them to be bounded, stay in the chains. We never taught them as we were conditioned when we were growing up. And now for society, I think that has become a norm. Why somebody is not obeying or bending when things are illogical, things do not make sense. So I am very proud of our young generations coming. They are respectful, but they want logic. They want to know why behind it before they nod. So that I really love when I talk to young people. And I think I'm also learning from them. Like, oh, wish I had that power to say no at my young time, and just say I don't feel like doing it, right? But I did it anyway for a lot of things, because I had to make somebody happy, my family, my siblings, anybody. But that one thing in particular, I'm really loving talking to Gen Z, and I'm glad they're not bound in chains and they're asking questions, which is really beautiful. Yeah.
That's right. I see it in my own children, and I laugh because I have one of those. my my 13-year-old is all about logic. It's he.
Yeah.
I'm amazed sometimes when I hear their conversations and the words they use, and I'm like, where,
Yeah.
how you guys? Sometimes I don't even understand what they're talking, but they're like, they have so much information right now.
Yeah.
um just my kids, I bring my kids to work, and they now
Hmm.
they're in summer, and I the other day I told him, I'm gonna teach you how to create a website, and I can tell you they learned in 2 days, and I was like,
Wow.
what, you know, how is it possible? But then I thought, you know what, I why am I surprised when they have all these tools and all this information all the time? I was like, how did you
Yeah.
guys figure it out so easily? It took me a while, and it takes people some time to learn.
Yeah.
But kids nowadays, they're like, it's it's great, and I love
Yeah.
that, what you're saying. Before
Love
it
it.
was
Yeah.
like, I need to make my mom happy. Uh,
Yep.
I've heard stories of people that have taken gone to college for different things because mom
Hmm.
didn't want that thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, can you imagine going through 4 or 5 years of college for something you don't
Yeah.
even like because of your parents? And
Yeah.
nowadays, the kids are like, this is what I want to do. They
Yeah.
stick to that, and they just go for it. And I really hope that my kids, that I'm giving that freedom to my kids to really embrace who they are,
Yeah.
and explore what they want. I actually had that luxury when I was a child because my mom was always very open minded in that sense. And I did a lot of things when I was younger, thanks to her. So that gave me the chance to really say, okay, this is what I want to do. From all of this that I experienced, this is what I
Yeah.
like. But yeah, it's good that this generation is getting curious and creative
Yes.
and
Yes.
looking for more all the time.
Yeah. 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 And yeah, with that, we come to a wrap. Jackie, any closing comments that you would like to share with my audience?
No, I just want to, well, yes, I will say, um, you mentioned a word that resonated a lot with me, which is reachable. Sometimes we think about those people that are out there, Mel
Mm.
Gibson and all these people out there doing podcasts and things like that, that might not be as reachable as you, Manny, as me, as other people
Mhm.
in your network. Use the people that you can reach. Use your network, use your community, use your surroundings, because you might be surprised of what you can find. Sometimes we're
True.
reaching for people that might not be reachable for us,
Yeah.
and we might not get that advice that we're looking for. So use your network. I love helping people, I love answering questions. My husband hates it because he's like, you you're always talking to people. um but it's what I like.
Yeah.
Information is a fortune. Information is everything, and if you
Yeah.
get the information from the right people, it's great. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you have any doubts right now, and you're trying to leave your 9 to 5, or you're trying to become an entrepreneur and do other things besides your 9 to 5. Very, very happy to help anybody. It doesn't matter wherever in the United States. We are pretty much everywhere right now helping people. So happy to be in your network.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie, for your time today and wonderful insights. And I do appreciate your time and talk today. And folks, don't forget to subscribe. We are supporting all the women in STEM. If you have something to say, reach out to me. I am hosting Women Like Us. You do not need to be necessarily having a big tech title, authority. If you have experience to share that can inspire other girls and women, allies, everybody, right? So please come on, let's talk. I would be more than happy to host you on my show. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jackie. We'll chat in the next one then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.